WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV. It's another week marching toward the hot times of the summer. Not really there yet, I guess. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. That is Morgan Lee. He is the sports editor for AccessNorthGA.com. We talk a lot of high school stuff around here, and we will talk a little bit about it today. But high school sports are, is this it? Is it over?
Well, as far as anything counting toward anything, yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate these days. It's never really over. I mean, during the summer, you've got all kinds of stuff that you have to do to get ready for the season. But yeah, as far as competition-wise, it's done and dusted.
Done and dusted, and the dust never did settle on Buford baseball, which is exactly where we need to start. We mentioned it last week, playing for a state title against Pike County, going for, what is this, the fourth state title? Is that right, for the school?
Yep, fourth team title, yeah.
Fourth team title for the school year. And congratulations to the Buford Wolves. They get it done. It took 3 games, so they actually did lose a game in the postseason, but they get it done. Now, early on in this series, game 1, it wasn't looking too good. We talked about Buford's pitching and how dominant it was, but Pike County came out swinging the bats.
Yeah, they did. Sam Clay, the junior, got the start for Buford in game 1 on Saturday and got smacked around pretty good. Pike County hit 3 home runs, really jumped out, took a big lead, and you know, I'm sure there was never really any panic in the stands at Buford, but I'm sure that was the first time that they kind of had their eyes open this postseason. So certainly, bucking the trend of what had gone on so far this postseason, but they bounced back like the champions they are.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing about the doubleheader format is that all of a sudden you could be out. I mean, just like that. Something happens in game 1, you don't win for whatever reason. Mentally, if you're not ready for game 2, I mean, it could be a sweep and you could be done. So, give them a lot of credit for coming back and not only winning game 2, but really pounding the ball themselves in game 2.
Yeah, game 2 come out, won 14-4, hit 5 home runs. It only took 6 innings. So, way to come back and make a statement as far as just, we lost the game, but this is still our series.
Yeah, exactly. So 3 home runs for Pike County. You come back in game 2 and say, we can do that, and hit a couple extra ones, too. So very impressive. So it's tied. You don't come back the very next day, right? They get a day in between?
That's right. Well, 2 things. A, GHSA forbids playing any sort of competition on Sunday.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
Not legal by GHSA standards.
But it's all right to play on Memorial Day.
Yes.
Okay.
Come back on Monday on Memorial Day at 4:00 at Buford.
Did they wear camo uniforms? Do you know this? Okay,
no.
right.
I think they were in their greens.
Okay.
Which is it's not a camo green. It's a very bright.
Yes,
bright green.
It's the Buford Wow green.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, I come back and very different game from the first 2. This time. Much more of a defensive effort, and Josh Hedinger, who is heading to Georgia Tech from Buford's pitching staff, shut Pike County down, allowed just 1 run in a complete game performance, and Buford got the win 5-1. And it was, from what I understand, it was just never really in doubt once Hedinger took the mound.
Yeah, so 5-1 the final. Hedinger retires 18 the last 20 batters he faces. Now he didn't pitch in the first 2 games, I guess, obviously, right?
I'm trying to remember if he came in game 2. You have to forgive me. I wasn't there for this one.
Right.
We had our own intrepid.
He handed it to Jeff Hart, baseball fan number 1.
Who lives right around the corner. So,
yes.
Shorten the gas mileage these days, always a good thing.
That's true.
I'm not sure if he might have made a slight appearance in game 2.
But even if he did, it seemed like he was fresh for game 3. He seemed to be kind of the ace in the hole. It's always nice.
Oh, absolutely.
It's always nice to have a guy. If you've split the first 2 or whatever, you say, okay, game 3 we'll start a Division I prospect.
Yeah, exactly. Not many teams even have pitchers who can pitch effectively, let alone dominate in a game 3. Obviously Pike County's didn't have a bad game 3 starter because he held Buford to 5 runs, which is pretty good the way things have been going. But Hedinger was just the proverbial man among boys on Monday.
Yeah. Now I wonder how realignment and all the stuff that's going to be happening, how it's going to change, because it's going to change all the sports. Everybody's just kind of focused on football, but I wonder. Does every team field a baseball team, from what you understand? I mean, is it? I wonder how it's going to be, because most schools have a football team, but I don't know about baseball and other sports and that kind of thing.
It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, right now everything is still pretty much up in the air as far as who's going to be playing who in the regions and that sort of thing. All we know for sure is that there's going to be 6 classes in a couple years. So, yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to see coming down the pike. It seems that we have a lot more baseball teams than we have football teams,
Mm-hmm.
I think, top to bottom, just because it's easier to field a baseball team.
Yeah.
Look at Lakeview Academy and the success that they've had with baseball, and it took them years to even get a football program. So,
yeah.
You can play with, really, you can play with probably about 13, 14 guys.
Yeah, exactly. The future of Buford, I would assume, is still bright. They're losing the 2 pitchers, of course, to go to Georgia Tech, but they still have to be bringing. Is this? Do you kind of see the baseball program kind of like what the football program is? Is a down year? Is them kind of losing in the later on in the playoffs, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I certainly see them making the postseason a more regular thing. Everybody forgets that. In this kind of green wave of success, I guess you could say that it's.
Ooh, good.
You like that?
Look at the penmanship on this guy. Yeah.
Everybody seems to think that this was just another of Buford's titles. This baseball team was not by any means a dominating force over the past couple of years. Last year they got to the second round. The year before that they were 12-13.
Really?
Yeah. So this is not some just all conquering group. This is a group that really took their lumps and learned how to win at a top level. They're losing some of the guys that have been key. They had 8 seniors, I think, on this team. So it's certainly going to take a step back, I think. They'll still be very good between Sam Clay and some of the younger guys that can really swing the bat. Mason Gentry, who I think he's 6'8".
Really?
Yeah. I can't believe he doesn't play football.
First pitcher or what?
He's not. Well, he hasn't pitched this season.
Okay.
Just looking at the stats here, no, he hasn't pitched this season, but he did have a 392 average and 35 RBI.
If I was 6'8", I think I'd grow my hair long like Randy Johnson and go out there and pitch.
Luckily, he's not as ugly as Randy Johnson.
Well, who is? Really?
Yeah, really. Anyway, so yeah, they're going to be good. Make no mistake about that. The thing is that with baseball, it's so different as far as just year in, year out. What really constitutes a great team, and I think the region that they're in is so ridiculously tough. It's good in everything, but in baseball it's beyond the beyond as far as Lovett and GAC and Blessed Trinity and all those really good programs. So I expect them to get back into playoff contention and state contention, but I don't think you'll see a performance like this next year.
Yeah, this is not to say it couldn't happen in a couple of years or whatever, but this is one of those kind of dream runs, I guess. But you're right. We mentioned it last week. When you play in a tough region like what they do, you make it out of there, and you're pretty much battle-tested, and you know exactly what you have to do to win. So congratulations to Buford. They go out and got themselves a state championship. There was another local team, not high school, but college, that we mentioned last week, that was trying to win a championship and go to the next level and see what happens. We'll talk about that when we come back. And I got to ask you about the boy up at Ohio State. Oh, yes. Morgan's going to have fun with this one. I know it. All right, more WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV. We'll be right back.
How can you best observe Memorial Day? One way is by placing flags or flowers on the graves of our fallen heroes. Another is by flying the U.S. flag from half-staff until noon. Fly your flag with pride this Memorial Day and save 50% at Rucksack. Rucksack Military Surplus has small flags and regular-size polyester flags at 50% off through Memorial Day. Rucksack Military Surplus asking you to pause at 3 p.m. this Memorial Day for the national moment of remembrance to honor those who've paid the ultimate price of freedom.
Home cooking means different things to different people. To most North Georgians, home cooking either means Mama's Secret Recipe or Long Street Cafe. And for your next banquet or gathering, you can have that delicious food brought to your doorstep. That's right, Long Street Cafe will cater your next event with its delicious fresh meats, vegetables, and desserts. Your guests will think you have Mama tied up in the kitchen. Call Long Street Cafe today at 770-534-7010. Long Street Cafe, where they put the home in home cooking.
At the offices of Dr. Norman Peets, DDS on Green Street in Gainesville, patients have all their general dentistry needs explained. Ask about sedation dentistry. Dr. Peets' team of professionals puts you at ease. Dedicated, experienced, professional. He's Gainesville's family dentist. Dr. Norman Peets, 615 Green Street in Gainesville.
I will not march blindly into the fluorescent light of Monday morning to a job I do not love. I will not go with the flow. I am not a carbon copy. I will visit this website before tomorrow because I refuse to work for the weekend, even if everyone is working for the weekend. Today, I will find a job that I love. Today, I will find my career happiness.
All right, WDUN Sports Talk, WDUN TV rolling on. By the way, go to youtube.com and search for WDUN Sports Talk. We're all over the place on youtube.com. By the way, oh man, I'm blanking on the name. The dancing guy with the hands, the double hand Hollywood hands or something. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I think I've missed that YouTube sensation.
I saw this for the first time. Maybe if Scott McIntyre knows, he can let us in. I can't remember the name of it. I'm going to look it up after the next break and figure it out. It's one of the funniest things I've seen on YouTube in a very, very long time. All right, let's talk about North Georgia College. The softball team was trying to get out, or actually they were back in the College World Series. Is that right? They made it up to Salem, Virginia, and it wasn't kind of the storybook ending from what happened with Buford baseball.
No, it wasn't. They got up there. They won their first game, nice little comeback win, but then lost the next two games in a row, got knocked out. The clinching loss was 7-1 to Saginaw Valley, so they ended up going 1-2 at the College World Series. Obviously disappointing, but I don't think anybody up there is going to be distraught considering they just won their third straight Peach Belt Conference title, their third straight trip to the College World Series. I obviously, like I said, disappointing, but with what they built there, you can expect them to be back and expect them to be right in the hunt again next year.
Yeah, exactly. And that's we mentioned Buford might be taking a step back possibly because they're losing two of the better pitchers, but that's the program they built is hey, we didn't get it done this year, but we got a pretty good shot at getting there next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a very a solid program. I mean, especially a lot of teams. When you move up to the Division II level, which North Georgia did not too long ago. You expect them to take a step back, and in fact, they seem to kind of thrive under the increased competition, and they've really just made the Peach Belt kind of their conference. And Coach Davenport just does an amazing job. It seems like year in year out, they're right there.
Yeah. So good luck to them. Next year's a good showing. This year didn't quite get it done, but that's all right. Hey, they got a trip to Salem, Virginia.
Yeah. Hey. Maybe they've got some cigarettes or something.
Yeah, or Salem witch hunt. Never mind. All right, let's move on. Let's go to college football. And I got to be honest, this whole thing with Jim Tressel is you never want bad things for people, I guess. But it's you kind of smile a little bit when you see. I mean, has everybody kind of known that? And I don't know what it is about him. I guess it's his there's players getting in trouble, that kind of thing. But didn't he always just seem kind of dirty to you?
I don't know if he seemed dirty. I don't know that he seemed all that he was cracked up to be.
Yeah.
Up until this year, my abiding I don't want to say memories, but thoughts of him were of for the most part a big game choke artist.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Bob Stoops out at Oklahoma. It seemed like they'd get to that big game and either get embarrassed or just find a way to lose it. With the exception of this year when they cheated to beat Arkansas in the Sugar Bowl. So,
you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing about all this is
that's not true, by the way, kids. Don't listen.
Yeah.
All right.
The thing about all this is that I don't think that you would have the sort of storm of controversy, so to speak, if he hadn't presented himself as this stand-up, great Christian guy who always tried to do the right thing and tried to enforce that with his players and get them to follow the right thing. And this, because frankly, what happened to me, it's cheating. Cheating is cheating.
Yeah,
no good. But it's not a huge deal. It's not like I don't look at this as some sort of crazy program out of control or something like this. But I do look at it as duplicitous. I do look at it as a guy who basically presents one image and what he really is something completely different, and you can't do that and expect to get away with it if it ever comes to light. So.
But it kind of sounds like, do you think that maybe he shouldn't have had to resign? I mean, we're kind of assuming he was going to be forced to resign. I mean, that's what happened. But, do you think he should have kept his job?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so because how can you how can you pretend to lead a group of young men and expect them to uphold the law when you have shown that you flagrantly just cheat,
sweep it under the rug.
And
cover
I
up.
mean, I read the huge Sports Illustrated article yesterday, and
I haven't read that yet.
It's
a pretty good read.
Yeah, you're going to sit down to read it because it takes a little bit. I mean, I read it in here with all the distractions of the office, so it took me a while. But
I am loud in the newsroom. I apologize.
No, it wasn't you. This was after. Yeah. But no, the thing that really struck me, and I heard this mentioned elsewhere on Sports Talk yesterday, that really got me. There was an incident of when he was an assistant coach at Ohio State. He used to be in charge of the football camps that they ran in the summer, and there was talk of like I said again, this was just from sources that Sports Illustrated talked to. There was talk that he was rigging raffle drawings, so that the top athletes who were at these camps were winning all this Ohio State merchandise.
Really?
Yeah. And most of these kids that are at these camps are never going to play down in college football.
Yeah.
So and I think the quote was, here's a guy who'd be reading Bible verses in the morning with fellow coaches and then going out and rigging raffles in the afternoon.
Nice.
So I just to me, like I said, the main I guess crux of this is that he is just not who he claims to be, and that's why it's become such a big deal.
And someone like Mark Richt, who's had problems with his players, as far as all that stuff's concerned, the difference is, from what I can see, is that Mark Richt does it the right way. These guys get in trouble, they report it. Mark Richt punishes them the way they should be punished, pretty much.
I would certainly hope so. I mean, unfortunately, in this day and age, you can never say never.
Yeah.
Because I think we've just learned time and again that human beings are made of are made to fail. I mean, we're frail stuff, and without getting too in depth and esoteric here, but it's you just can't ever believe that everybody's 100%. But it seems like Coach Rick seems to do does things the right way, and obviously we all hope he does.
Yeah, absolutely, and you don't want those guys to get in trouble, but if they do, you kind of you need to do it the right way. And I know that sometimes these athletes get some preferential treatment with some things, but free tattoos or free cars or whatever it was.
It was very shady. Just the more and more you read about it, the more you're like, ew, it's just slimy.
Yeah, it really is slimy, and they're going to move on. He's going to pop up somewhere. It won't be next year.
Of course. A couple years down the road, somebody will give him a shot.
Exactly. And he's not a bad coach necessarily. He seems to be a pretty good recruiter.
Yeah, great recruiter. I think he's a decent coach, maybe a little below average.
Yep.
Game day coach, but certainly a good coach.
All right, we'll wrap things up after this. Something's missing in Atlanta, and it has to do with the ice. I think you know what we're talking about. We'll wrap things up after this. WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV.
How can you best observe Memorial Day? One way is by placing flags or flowers on the graves of our fallen heroes. Another is by flying the U.S. flag from half-staff until noon. Fly your flag with pride this Memorial Day and save 50% at Rucksack. Rucksack Military Surplus has small flags and regular-size polyester flags at 50% off through Memorial Day. Rucksack Military Surplus asking you to pause at 3 p.m. this Memorial Day for the national moment of remembrance to honor those who've paid the ultimate price of freedom.
Home cooking means different things to different people. To most North Georgians, home cooking either means Mama's Secret Recipe or Longstreet Cafe. And for your next banquet or gathering, you can have that delicious food brought to your doorstep. That's right, Longstreet Cafe will cater your next event with its delicious fresh meats, vegetables, and desserts. Your guests will think you have Mama tied up in the kitchen. Call Longstreet Cafe today at 770-534-7010. Longstreet Cafe, where they put the home in home cooking.
At the offices of Dr. Norman Peets, DDS on Green Street in Gainesville, patients have all their general dentistry needs explained. Ask about sedation dentistry. Dr. Peets' team of professionals puts you at ease. Dedicated, experienced, professional. He's Gainesville's family dentist. Dr. Norman Peets, 615 Green Street in Gainesville.
I will not march blindly into the fluorescent light of Monday morning to a job I do not love. I will not go with the flow. I am not a carbon copy. I will visit this website before tomorrow. because I refuse to work for the weekend, even if everyone is working for the weekend. Today, I will find a job that I love. Today, I will find my career happiness.
All right, wrapping it up here. WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV. Double Dream Hands. Please go to youtube.com. First, you want to watch our show, of course, WDUN Sports Talk. Look that up. But then look up Double Dream Hands. And if you don't laugh, I'm telling you, there's something wrong with you. There's absolutely something wrong with you. All right, Judd Morgan wrapping things up here. And got to ask you about the Thrashers. They are no more in Atlanta. And, you know, I'll just go ahead and say I'm a little sad. I mean, I went to a handful of games. That was it. But it was something about being, you know, it's Atlanta. Big city. Should have all the major sports. And it had the Thrashers for a while. But the fact is, nobody went to the games.
Yeah, nobody went to the games because the Atlanta Spirit didn't quite know how to run an organization in the NHL. And, frankly, I don't think they cared very much. And no matter how... no matter how diehard your fan base is, if you continually turn in loser after loser after loser, you're gonna have a negative effect at the gates, especially a team that really didn't have much of a built-in fan base to begin with. So, the Atlanta Spirit pretty much got what they want. I mean, that team's been on the block for, 5 years now?
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't think anybody should be surprised. I mean, it's kind of sad for Atlanta as a whole to lose a second sports franchise. But, if you write letters to the Atlanta Spirit if you're mad is all I can say.
Yeah, exactly. Or go to Gwinnett Gladiator games next year.
Yeah,
too,
exactly. So. Yeah, they could certainly use your money.
Yeah, ticket sales going to go up for them. All right, that's going to do it for us. We're wrapping things up here. We'll be off next week. I'm getting hitched. Might be off 2 weeks from now. Morgan's having a baby. See, we're at different parts in our life, but at the same time, we might have to take next 2 weeks.
Not really even showing yet.
Huh? I know,
really
exactly. You've been working out very well. Our thanks to Scott McIntyre, doing a great job back at the old studio. Thank you very much. He does do weddings, ladies. He's doing mine this weekend, so there you go. And he's looking for a date, so...
Does he do dream hands?
Email him, huh?
Does he do dream hands?
I don't know if he does double dream hands or not. I'm going to say probably not, but we'll wait and see. So we'll talk to you hopefully in a couple of weeks. Have a great time. YouTube.com, WDUN Sports Talk. We'll talk at you later. See ya.